Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for January 2025. You have this Unfinished Symphony card and this Time to Go card. So the Unfinished Symphony card says, obviously, that there's something you need to finish in your life. And the Time to Go card is very similar. The Time to Go card is my Purgatory card in this deck. She's kind of like, I'll show you in a minute, but she's between two worlds here, and there's a doorway all the way at the back of the card. And so she's kind of been in this like in-between time where things aren't really moving forwards or backwards in her life, and she needs to get to that doorway, and she needs to finish something, this part of her journey, so that she can move forward. So I think that your first row is encouraging you to like wrap something up. It could be a project or something in work, or it could be anything. It could even be something that you're learning, or like something that has to do with like personal development is also popping into my head here. So, I think all of that would be really good for you. But like I said, she is, she's about to reach this doorway, and she needs to make it, and she needs to finish because of that Unfinished Symphony card. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Swords, and this is coming up in your first row for your current general energies. The Queen of Pentacles is about resourcefulness or being resourceful. So I think a lot of you are going to have to like tap into your resources to be able to complete whatever you're trying to complete here. She's really focused on what she does have. There's this rabbit here, and the rabbit can represent fertility and abundance, but the rabbit can also represent like fears and anxiety. So the whole point of the rabbit is that she's not focused on the rabbit. She's focused on what she has. So with the Queen of Pentacles, we really have to make sure that we are focusing on the right things so that we can complete our journey. You have the Ten of Pentacles, and right next to it, you have the Ten of Cups. I really like the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups together because the two together kind of represent like fortune after difficulty or something good coming in after a difficult period of time. The Ten of Pentacles is kind of like everything you want and desire in your life. And we do have a very dreamy kind of vibe going on in this reading. We have the Knight of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. These are all kind of like dreamy cards. Ten of Cups is happy home, happy family. But these people are focusing on, being happy. The Knight of Cups, he is dreaming. So a lot of you could be, in the Ten of Pentacles is a card of establishment. It would be a card of establishing your dream on earth, like getting started, building like whatever it is that you're dreaming about. So I think it would be a great time to do that. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a card of knowledge and wisdom, and I think a lot of you probably have learned a lot over the years. And the whole point of the King of Swords is that we have to take what we have learned over the years and we have to put those things into practice. So the King of Swords is really good for kind of like taking the things you've learned and actually using what you have learned to be successful. And I think a lot of you are kind of doing that. We also have the Hermit right next to the King of Swords. The Hermit has been through a dark night of the soul, and so he's been on this long journey climbing to the top of this mountain to find his inner light, and he has also gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So, it's really kind of saying to me that everything you've been through, you're about to see that it was worth it, right? So, which is good. With the Queen of Pentacles, Purgatory, it's funny that I said that was my Purgatory card. You have the Hangman. The Hangman is not moving. He is stuck in limbo or purgatory. He has sacrificed movement of his arms and his legs so that he can gain enlightenment. But again, really going to that King of Swords in the Hermit tells me that you have completed this stage of maybe feeling like you're on pause or like you're not moving forwards or backwards. And now it's time to like start moving forward. So I think you're ready is what it's saying. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. Very common energy, I would say, right now. I think that the universe is encouraging pretty much everyone to cut things out that no longer serve them or to walk away from things that no longer serve them. And, that would be the best thing with the Eight of Cups. With the King of Swords, you have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups could be love, and we do see a lot of love here. Ten of Cups, Empress, Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups. So if you are looking for love, the King of Swords is usually a person who's older than you. The Two of Cups is usually a person who is different than your usual type. These two people are meant to look very different. The one thing that's really great between these two when it is good is the communication. This right here is a staff of Hermes, which is Mercury, and Mercury is communication. So you could be meeting someone and it kind of does feel like a very mental connection to me, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Again, if you can connect really well with a person on a mental level, that can be a good thing, of course. So, it just seems to me like this could be something where you start out, connecting with a person more mentally, or, it's like you're different, but maybe you have this similar belief systems, or maybe you both like think the same things. So, we're off to a good start here. Next, I already forgot what we're going to do. We are going to look at, what you can do to have the best start for 2025 in January. You have this Divine Intervention card. It says, angels are working behind the scenes to assist in the miracle you've requested. You have the Scarab Spirit. It says, what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. And so, this could be the lessons you've learned with that Scarab Spirit. It's like sometimes I think we discount our experiences, but the Scarab Spirit is basically saying, your experiences hold lessons that can still be very valuable to you. And the Hermit pretty much says the same thing, that your experiences are valuable and you need to remember that. So I would definitely remember that with these two cards. You have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups can represent like a knight in shining armor, or meeting a person who sweeps you off your feet. So like I already said, if you want love, it looks like there could be a connection coming in for some of you. The Knight of Cups, as far as an action you can take to have the best start, would be about taking one step towards your dream. He's standing in the desert, but there's water flowing in front of him, and nothing grows in the desert, but this desert has water. So if you plant seeds, if you take that first step towards whatever you're dreaming about, then those seeds can sprout and grow, and you can create like an oasis in your life. So the Knight of Cups is all about taking those first steps. I am also getting something here about your intuition, or like needing to trust your intuition more. I don't personally consider the Knight of Cups. He would be intuitive, but I'm just saying I think there are other cards that really represent intuition in the tarot. But again, I am getting something about like really, really trusting those messages that are popping into your head, and like more specifically, I feel like these are messages that are just gonna pop into your head. Like when I always get messages like right when I'm waking up in the morning, or like right as I'm drifting off to sleep. Sometimes I get messages as well. So that's when I would pay attention, at those times in your life. And, again, they could be important for who knows what. You have the Ten of Cups. So clearly focusing on happiness is going to be very important for you. The whole point of the Ten of Cups is that they are celebrating, but they are standing in the real world. These cups exist above their heads. So the Ten of Cups is all about choosing happiness and joy. Sagittarius, you are the sign of happiness and joy. So I think that you just need to be more in your element this year, and starting in January, start right away. Focusing on things that make you happy, or doing more things that will make you happy. And I think that will lead to more abundance, or more success, or more of whatever it is that you want. The Empress is also a card of self-care. And usually if we take good care of ourselves, we're probably going to feel more happy. So, again, I would definitely focus on your happiness. You have the Hermit. Again, I really feel like King of Swords and the Hermit should be together in this reading. I feel like they are, but just one card, because I feel like they're both pretty much saying that you have learned a lot in your life, and now it's time to take what you have learned and to use what you have learned. The Hermit, he has a star in his lantern, and I always say he needs to shine that star out all over the place. He's kind of like keeping it trapped, and, he needs to use his skills and not be afraid to use his skills as well. So I definitely think it would be a good time for you to use the things you've learned. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles. Again, I feel pretty good about this Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, it can be a card where it says you're holding on too tightly to the past, or you're being stingy with your energy or your money. But I feel pretty good about it for you, Sagittarius. I think that this could be a year, let's put it this way. If you've been working on something for a long time, like a few years at least, like maybe you've been working on a side project or a side hustle or something, I'm getting something here about you really establishing something this year, like in the world. I think that you could be like making things more legitimate in your life. That could also be love as well. Like you could be making a deeper commitment to a person, for example. So, that can make things more legitimate. But it seems to me like I get more of a grounding energy on the Four of Pentacles, and, obviously that would be good. With the Ten of Cups, what do you know? You have the Emperor. So definitely could be a divine counterpart coming in for you if you are looking for love. The Emperor can, as far as an action is concerned, can represent, taking control of your life or taking advantage of any opportunities that come your way. With the Hermit, you have the Five of Cups. Really, it's another card that says look on the bright side. The whole point of the Five of Cups is that he is grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys. But the solution to the Five of Cups is to focus on these two cups, and then you get this bridge in this castle. So he doesn't even want to drink wine, but he is sad because he doesn't enjoy it any longer. It's like something that once made him happy doesn't make him happy anymore. But again, the solution is to find something else that makes you happy, and then you get the bridge in the castle. So, again, I think that for you to have the best start, focusing on happiness is definitely, or creating happiness is definitely something that you should be doing. Next, we're going to look at the challenges you could be facing this year and how to overcome them, of course. You have this 4C card and this revisit card. I don't really think that these two cards are talking about a challenge. There is one thing that's popping into my head, and that is with that 4C card. I think that it's saying that you really need to trust your intuition this year. It seems to be a very intuitive year, and so I feel like this card is basically saying, if you feel something, you're right. Like, don't second guess your intuition because you might second guess your intuition and then be disappointed later. So, and I like in all areas of your life, right? So trust your intuition. With the revisit card, I feel pretty good about this because of the Hermit and the King of Swords. I do think both of those cards are saying that you need to look at all the lessons you've learned because there's some gold in the things that you have been through. And maybe that could be a challenge, right? It's like no one likes to think about things that hurt them or, cause pain or whatever. So it could be like a little bit of a challenge, but I don't really feel like that it is. But I would really get the gold for the things you've been through. And I talk about that a lot in my readings because, I think it's worth it. You have the Empress, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. The Empress, as far as a challenge is concerned, could represent like not feeling abundant. Could also represent, again, needing to take care of yourself. A lot of people this month have had cards that kind of say the same thing about, needing to make sure you're taking extra good care of yourself. So, I think everyone should probably do that. The Empress can also represent doing things the hard way as a challenge. Like, she doesn't do things the hard way. All she has to do is wave that scepter that she's holding on to in front of her, and the wheat in front of her will grow. And so that, she's not like struggling to get things to work like I am right now. And that's all she has to do. So again, if things are hard or super hard in work or business or anything else you're doing, I would find more like efficient ways to do things in your life. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can represent calling attention to your weaknesses, so that could be a little bit of a challenge as well. Like, you could be more focusing on the reason why things can't work or won't work or are not working. And I think that the Five of Pentacles, again, with the Five of Cups, is really saying that you need to start looking on the bright side of life. Again, it's like, that's my thing with, kind of like looking at things and saying like nothing is working in my life. It's you're basically just stating the obvious. And so, I always tell people like I used to be the biggest stinking thinker that existed, and I used to be miserable, believe it or not, right? And positive thinking changed my life. So I am a big fan of delusional positive thinking, right? And even if things aren't positive, because it's like, sure, you could talk about how much your life sucks all you want, but it's like you're just stating the obvious. It's like, why not start talking about things in a different way and improve your life? And I feel like that's what the Five of Pentacles is saying. You have the Ace of Cups. Every single person has had the Ace of Cups, and most people have had it in the second row. You have it in the third row. But what I feel like this year, 2025, it's going to be very important that we create more flow. And same thing with the Empress, right? In a challenge position, she would be kind of closed off to solutions that could make things easier. So the Ace of Cups is about flow. The Ace of Cups, all it has to do to fill itself back up is reach down into the water below it, and it will fill itself back up. So the Ace of Cups says you need to find those things in life that you can do endlessly, and that will make your life easier. With the Empress, you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles as a challenge says that you need to get started, which definitely comes up in this reading, especially with that time to go card. The Knight of Pentacles also represents knowledge and wisdom, kind of like the King of Swords and the Hermit. He has these oak leaves on his helmet, and the oak leaves represent knowledge and wisdom. So he has all the knowledge and wisdom he needs to plant seeds in this field behind him, and they will grow. So really, in a lot of ways, this is saying, like, don't doubt yourself. Like in the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles are definitely saying, don't doubt yourself. With the Five of Pentacles, yes, don't doubt yourself here, Sagittarius. The King of Swords. You have the King of Swords twice now. And again, the King of Swords says you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So I think it's just saying, like, don't doubt your knowledge because you know a lot. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Page of Wands, which you also have twice right here. A lot of repeating cards in the tarot kind of is confirmation for your path. So I really like readings where we have at least a couple of cards that are repeating because it basically says you're going the right direction. The Page of Wands is about moving towards your enthusiasm or doing things that make you feel good. So, the whole entire reading is saying focus on happiness, and that's exactly what I would do. Next, you have this Rhino Spirit. It says overcome any obstacle. You also have this Moth Spirit. It says surrender now. And so in the good stuff, this would basically say that you are overcoming an obstacle at the beginning of the year here, which of course would be a good thing. You have the Eight of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Page of Wands. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you, and we don't really know, and he definitely does not know what he is walking towards, right? The whole point of the Eight of Cups is that he's walking into darkness. He is eclipsing something out of his life. It's the only card in the tarot right here that has an eclipse on it, and so he's eclipsing something out of his life, and he doesn't know at this point what he's walking towards, so he really doesn't know if he's going to find fulfillment or not. He just knows that whatever this is not fulfilling him, and so I think a lot of you have been on this journey, like trying to find fulfillment in your life. And coming up in the good stuff, it would actually say you're finding fulfillment. So really nice. You have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is about clarity. She has clouds only halfway up her body, and it kind of represents the fact that she is clear for the first time, or she is gaining clarity for the first time in her life. She's also kind of like cautiously optimistic. She has her hand up, but she also has that sword up. It's like she's willing to accept something into her life, but she's also willing to chop its head off if it isn't right. So I think that you are becoming a little bit more optimistic. I think maybe 2024 wasn't very optimistic for you. And, I feel like you need to get back to your happy-go-lucky Sagittarius self, where you're more optimistic, you're more happy, you're more joyful. And, of course, that is an energy that we have to create. We don't just get to be happy. So, I'm a big fan of people creating their own happiness. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about going on an adventure, feeling enthusiastic or being enthusiastic. So again, I think you're kind of just going back to your happy-go-lucky Sagittarius self with the Page of Wands. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. Fulfillment, exactly what I said. So you are definitely walking towards the Nine of Cups here. Again, the Eight of Cups, the guy on the Eight of Cups, he does not know that he is going to get to the Nine of Cups. He is just like crossing his fingers and hoping that he's going to find fulfillment. But he knows that he's cutting something out for the right reasons because it's not fulfilling him. So again, I think a lot of you could be finding fulfillment. You could be walking towards like a goal or a wish or a dream with that Nine of Cups, so that looks really good. With the Page of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. Someone has their eye on you. Right here, we have the King and Queen of Swords. King and Queen of Swords are divine counterparts, and they're not my favorite divine counterparts, I will say that. Usually, they are two people who are who don't see eye to eye, or two people who are not talking to each other. But this reading is a little bit more on the positive side of things for love. So again, if you want love, definitely could be a person who's very mental. Like again, I said that earlier, that there's like this mental connection that I feel here. That would make sense with the King and Queen of Swords, right? I said that earlier. So I think this could be a little bit more of a mental connection, whatever the hell that means. And but it looks good, and I think someone has their eye on you, or you're spying on someone. Take it how it resonates. With the Page of Wands, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. A lot of people have been getting, teamwork cards this year, and we do have Pluto and Aquarius. So, if I'm still here for in the next 20 years reading on YouTube, over the next 20 years, we will have a lot of cards that say teamwork because of Pluto and Aquarius for almost 20 years. You have this face card that says secret admirer. I just said this. So you definitely could have a secret admirer, or you are the secret admirer. Take it how it resonates. But if you are, then I think this could be a very good connection. These two wanted to come out together. You have this pail. It says time to get out of a situation. You also have this dog far away. It says a distant friend is thinking of you. So you're clearly walking away from something, and maybe you want to reach out to someone if someone pops into your head because maybe they have a solution to whatever you're walking away from. You have this eagle. It says triumph over obstacles. A lot of people this year, right at the beginning of the year, these January readings have had these cards that say like overcoming an obstacle, stuff like that. So you could really be overcoming an obstacle. You have this dog barking. It says advice from a friend. So again, two dog cards that say advice from a friend basically. Might be a good time to reach out to someone that you're thinking about. You have this mule. It says stubborn. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Mars retrograde. We basically have the Mars retrograde energy until the end of April. Mars retrograde is over on February 23rd. We're in the shadow until April 30th. So, for the first third of the year, we're basically dealing with this energy. And I would just avoid stubborn people at all costs. Finally, you have this success card, so clearly you are going to be finding success at this time, Sag. But this is a really good reading. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.